Thanks for playing along, Andrew.
I'm not here with you, brother. Let's do it.
I love it, dude. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Happy Hour. I'm your host, Hayden Humphrey, and I am very excited about this particular episode because I'm here with my very special guest, Mr. Andrew Feinstein. Andrew, how the heck are you?
I think you said it yourself. It's Friday. So it's another week has come and gone. So given everything, I think I'm as good as I could be.
Love it. And for those listening who don't know you, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're up to.
Yeah, man. So my name is Andrew Feinstein, and I work for an awesome organization called Next Gen HQ, a business hub helping and serving young entrepreneurs like the man himself, Hayden Humphrey, who's part of our awesome community. And that's how we got linked up. And it's just, it's great, man. Life's great. Having a lot of fun. We're able to pretty quickly transition to the work from home. So things are still going. And I'm super fortunate, super lucky that I'm still doing stuff. And, we were saying before we hopped on here, better to be busy than bored. So I'm definitely in the busy camp, which I'm a fan of.
Nice, man. Yeah, dude. I think my favorite thing about you is you're just incredibly cheerful. I feel like every time I get on the phone with you, I leave with like a higher amount of energy than when I got on the phone. So like, thanks for bringing that out into the world, and thanks for being a part of something really cool at Next Gen. I'm realizing more and more the importance of community and like getting connected with people who are on the same wavelength, the people who are like way ahead of me. But just getting involved in a community of people who are purpose driven and who want to make a big difference is super exciting. So thanks for leading that charge, man.
Oh, of course.
Cool. The question that I love to start off this show with, and for those of you listening, I would also encourage you to drop your answer to this question in the comment box. But Andrew, what is making you happy right now?
Ooh, that is a wonderful question. Why not start with that? I got to say the first thing that came to mind is, and I texted you this right before we hopped on, John Krasinski, who was Jim in The Office, big fan of The Office. Started like a YouTube channel called Some Good News. That's kind of like just this weird amalgamation of news of amazing things going on in the world, plus a ton of like cameos where it's just comes out every Monday. And it's just such a great thing to like spend my lunch doing on Monday. Like I got a tradition now where I like sit down, have my lunch, watch that show.
Oh, nice.
It's making me smile, man. So, when I think happiness, I think smiling. And that was the first thing that came to mind.
I love that, man. I think what's making me happy this week, just like coming to some realizations about how I schedule my time and realizing that I like don't need to be doing all of the things all the time. It's so weird because part of it, it's counterintuitive. You're like, oh, if I work really hard and do a lot of things, then I'll get what I want. And like, that's not exactly the case. And it's taken me a long time to realize it. But I feel like now I'm in this place where I'm like, oh, one of the ways that I feel like I put forward my best work and I have the most fun is when I have these really long, uninterrupted stretches of time to just like sit and think and work. And, historically I've related to like being in my own head as a negative. And I think it's actually a really positive thing, when I use it in the right way. So that's definitely been making me happy, which I think is great. We've got an answer from someone watching. Sam says, being able to spend more time at home with the baby. That's awesome, Sam.
That is awesome.
Love that, man. Thank you for sharing that so much. I think at the very least, that's like one positive from everything that's been happening is like, hopefully you get to spend more time with the peeps that you live with and get to spend more quality time there. I know, Andrew, you're with your family, correct? Right?
Correct. We all, me, my brother, my younger brother, and my younger sister moved back home, all of us, for the first time in probably about 6 years. So it has been, it's been lovely and interesting. Mom, if you're watching, it's been lovely. Mom, if you're not watching, it's been, been up and down roller coaster.
Pros and cons.
I totally agree with Sam. It's just great being able to spend time with the people that you love. And I've got, an older cousin, her and her husband just had a baby a few months ago, and they're loving that they now all of a sudden like get to spend all this time together with the baby, which, originally she was going to stay home for a little bit. He was going to be working. So I think it's awesome that, people are able to watch their children grow up right now.
Totally.
Talking about positives from this whole experience.
Yeah. I will say, I do feel very lucky that I like the person that I live with, because I feel like if I had roommates that I was not super hip on, this would be very challenging to be with that person. So
there's nowhere
you
to
can't
go.
hear me, but Christian, I appreciate you, man. Yeah. He says hi.
Yeah, man. There's nowhere to go. I mean, if you don't like your roommates, you're kind of stuck.
I know.
So yeah, man.
I know, man. Yeah. A very closely related follow-up question. Andrew, what are you most grateful for today?
My health and well-being, I think is one, being able to wake up. I started, since I've been back and time isn't as crucial. You don't have to be up at 5 a.m. to do anything, which is kind of my normal schedule. I started waking up with the sun, and I leave my curtains open so the sun wakes me up in the morning. And it's just so pleasant to like wake up and be like, oh, I'm a human being. I'm alive. I'm so grateful to be alive. So it was, I think that for me, health, wellness, well-being. Yeah. What about you?
Love that. What am I most grateful for today? I think the thing that I'm most grateful for is like, there's pros and cons to everything that's happening. A lot of cons, a lot of sadness. And I think one of the pros is it's actually forced me to just sit down and focus and like really come to terms with and be super honest with myself about like what's been working in my business and what hasn't. And so I feel like I have advanced and transformed and learned so much in the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Like I look back even 6 weeks ago and I'm like, I can't believe I've come this far and like learned this much, and feels like taking these huge strides forward in terms of talking about what I do and structuring everything. So I'm really grateful for that, because what I see is on the other side of it is like an experience where I'm creating a bigger impact and I'm creating the things that I want to create, and I'm having a lot more fun, and I'm like working less, hard, which is always a positive thing. So yeah, love that, man. Cool. Well, we are at one of my favorite sections of this show, the random question of the day. Andrew, are you ready for your random question of the day?
Oh my gosh, definitely not, but let's do it.
Okay, we're gonna do it anyways. So I am generating your random question now. Andrew, what's something uncomfortable but you feel everyone should experience at least once in their life?
Silent meditation retreat. Yeah, I think I think being with yourself, being silent with yourself is so weird and foreign, and has so much benefit to it, and just being able to like push yourself to limits that you didn't think were possible mentally, I think is something that the world hasn't fully gotten on board with yet. I think we're all like, all right, let's see how far we can push physically with all this workout craze. And I think, I'd love to see, people be pushing a little bit more mentally and seeing like, how does that feel? Is that difficult? Those are the conversations I'd also love to have with people, and we've had them together, those, the idea of like just being with yourself. But yeah,
it's huge. I haven't done anything like that yet. I did like a quasi dopamine fast / digital detox on Sunday, which was awesome, where I like didn't check any of my tech. I didn't really do anything other than like sit on my couch like the whole day. And it was actually awesome. Like I maybe got bored at like one or two moments in the day, but like the whole rest of the day, I felt very present and like very centered and very grounded. And I just had a notepad and I was just like writing down whatever, whatever came up for me. And I was like, I need to do this more. So I totally feel you on that piece. You'll definitely have to let me know about more silent retreats. I feel like they've got them everywhere.
They do.
Maybe I'll just do my own.
Yeah, man. It's nice when you can go to a place that takes the guesswork out for you, but super easy to do on your own as well. I'm right there with you. I'm a no technology every Saturday guy myself. So yeah, it's weird exploring like, oh, boredom is just another feeling that like comes and goes, and you can like analyze it and get over it, versus like similar to like, hunger and other stuff, obviously with thresholds. But just very interesting when you like don't let yourself immediately fix or get rid of, and you kind of just dive into it a little further.
Totally. All right. Random question for me. What future year are you most looking forward to arriving?
Definitely not this one. Man.
I don't know. Is it a cop-out answer if I say this one? I don't care. I'm going to say this one anyways.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is like, in spite of what's happening, I mean, I've been very lucky in that I haven't, aside from losing some business, I haven't been like physically impacted by what's happening. But I just feel like with every progressive year, I build a better relationship with myself. I heal more of my insecurities. I create more space for joy and connection. Like every year just gets better. And so there's really honestly nowhere else I'd rather be, than right now. And there are parts of, of my experience and stuff that's happening that I miss. Like I was like, I'd love to go to like a concert. And earlier this week, I was like, I just want to go to dinner. I was like, that's it. I just like want to go out to dinner, with some friends and like have that experience. But I'm like really happy and like very excited to be exactly where I'm at right now.
I think that's so beautiful. I think not a lot of people, I think a lot of people would take more of the joke that I threw out right in the beginning of definitely not this year. And I remember thinking back like the 2020, huge goals, huge aspirations, start of a new decade, huge year. And then, yeah, man, it's just been kind of like a big cluster F. I don't know what the cursing policy is, so I'm just gonna leave it there.
You're allowed to curse, Andrew.
Okay, all right. Sorry, Grandma, if you're watching. Yeah, man, I love that. I think every year it can be what you make of it. So I'm on board. I think I'd second your answer.
Love that, dude. Well, we're moving into a section that I also really enjoy, and it's more questions, but they're different kinds of questions. Like these are the kinds of questions that I think tell us a lot about your character and who you are as an individual. So I'm going to ask you some intimate questions.
Let's do it.
To get to know you. Andrew, are you ready for some intimate questions to get to know you?
No, but let's do it.
We're going to do it anyways.
I could be.
Okay. So first up, and arguably the most important of these questions, Andrew, how many pillows do you sleep with?
3. One under my head and one on each side of me. I sleep with a pillow in between my legs, and when I roll over in the middle of the night, I don't want to have to bring the pillow with me.
So you got them on each side.
I picked one to join the other pillow on the other side.
It's so efficient.
I've gotten a lot of shit for it throughout the years. Past girlfriends that are like, "Why do you need 3 pillows to sleep with?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I grew up with."
Because it's I'm sleeping with whatever I want to sleep with.
Exactly.
Did that happen over time? Was there like an evolution of like your pillow system?
Yeah, I mean, I think you start baby, you're in a crib, you don't really have any pillows, and then
that's true.
You're a little bit older, and you have like the twin bed, and there's not really room for 3 pillows in a twin bed, and then if you're lucky and you get fortunate, and your parents can make it happen, you get a full-size bed, a little bit bigger, and that's when the 3 pillows came in. And then I went to college and went back to the twin bed and went back to 2 pillows. And then since moving back out of college, been able to go back up to 3 pillows. So it's been huge.
That's riveting timeline. Thank you for
my whole
sharing
life
that.
in a nutshell, basically.
I was just thinking, I was like, I sleep with 2 pillows, I hold a pillow, and then I sleep on a pillow. But I have a total of 4 pillows on my bed, and 2 of them I just don't use. Literally, they just sit there. And I was just thinking about it today, and I was like, that's kind of weird that they're just like there. Yeah. I just don't touch them. But
is it every night that just get no love?
Yeah, same pillows. Wow. So I have obvious favorites, and that sucks for the other pillows. But what? Oh, I sleep on the left side.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm a left side guy. Are you a right side guy?
No, I'm a left side guy too.
Left side guy? Okay, cool. Yeah. I knew
Yeah.
I knew I liked you.
Left side.
Next question is, do you take any vitamins? Why or why not?
On and off. I have in the past. Currently, no. I got really into trying to get all of my nutritional value from Whole Foods if I could. So try to do that and not take vitamins or supplements to augment, but definitely changing from time to time. I'm fully vegan now, so being able to get the occasional vitamin D or a B12 that's a little bit harder to get on a vegan diet. If I can remember and make it happen.
That's cool, man. What prompted the switch to vegan?
I went plant-based first after some prodding by some friends and a few documentaries, and I was like, you know what, I'll give this a try. I'm a fan of testing stuff out and being able to push my mind, my body, and say, I basically looked at myself and I said, all right, if I can eat this diet, look the way I want to look, feel the way I want to feel, I'm gonna save money. It'll be better for the environment. There's a lot of pros here. I'll give it a shot. And that was about a year ago. And since then, just kind of slowly made the transition to cutting out cheese and fish and all of that other stuff.
Nice. That's cool, man. I have not put my foot or toe into plant-based anything yet. I imagine at some point I'll probably start to move in that direction. Mm-hmm. But it's just hard, man. I love chicken thighs, and it's a hard thing to let go. So I commend you.
There's definitely some stuff where I'm like, wow, I miss that.
I miss that. Is there anything in particular that you're like, oh, damn?
I lived in South Carolina for about a year, and there was this one place that had these like chicken fajita nachos that I would be all over right now if I could.
It sounds delicious. Next question, Andrew. How do you take your coffee?
Wow. You just opened up a can of worms.
This is the question. When I ask people this question, this like tends to get a response. So please share.
Yeah. I'm a huge coffee fan. It's a bonding moment between me and my dad every morning. That's why it's been so great being home. Morning coffee with Pops. But I've oscillated and changed over the years, but right now I'm a big fan of cortados, which are basically it's 1 shot of espresso and equal parts milk. So basically coffee cut with milk. Cortado comes from cortar, the Spanish word for cut. So I'm a huge fan. I since I've been home and I can't make them like with pretty latte art, I got a nice espresso machine. I'll put it on ice. So nice. Same ratio on ice. Oat milk.
That's rad, dude.
To stick with the veganism.
I gotta try oat milk. I did the Whole30 last year, and you can't do dairy. And so then I just started drinking my coffee black, and now I just drink black coffee all the time. And it's so funny because it's like hard to get over in the beginning. You're like, because it's just very bitter and it has a very particular taste to it. But now I've like learned to love it. And like, there's something, I know this sounds weird, but there's like a certain way that your mouth feels after you drink black coffee. And it's like, I don't know. It's like a nice, I like it. I feel like I can taste it more. I don't need to like buy creamer or sugar or anything like that. So
saving money.
Exactly. There's a lot of benefits.
Yeah, you're a lot of benefits. Wisdom right here.
For sure. So we have one more question for you, one more intimate question to get to know you. Also, I think it's a very important one, and it's going to tell us a lot about who you are as a person. Do you carry cash? Why or why not?
It depends on what type of pants I'm wearing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Literally.
Nice.
So when I was a younger kid, my dad told me always separate your cash from your wallet, and have your wallet in one pocket and your cash in one pocket. That way, if somebody ever comes up to you and tries to mug you for your wallet, you can give them your wallet and you'll still have a little bit of cash if you're like stranded in the middle of nowhere, you need to get somewhere. So kind of like the money in the shoe phenomenon, but keeping it in your other pocket. But if I'm wearing like workout clothes and I only have two pockets, I don't have the back ones that jeans give you. Then I'm just like, there's no point in carrying cash. And I will say in the last few years that the amount of times I have it on me has dwindled significantly since Venmo became a thing. And I just found out is not a thing in Canada today, because I tried to Venmo somebody in Canada and he was like, I'm sorry, but we don't have that. So fun fact for our US members.
Can I ask you what happens if you wear pants that don't have any pockets?
I try to avoid that at all costs, unless I'm like just sitting around.
God forbid.
I find like pants with no pockets, I'm not really sure. Did they just get lazy, or like was there a reason? I know men's fashion differing from women's fashion, in that women's fashion doesn't have a lot of pockets with room, and men's fashion's got some deep pockets, but no pockets. I don't know what the rationale is there. What the
MO is there.
Yeah.
Did you ever go through a cargo shorts phase?
Unfortunately, yes.
We've all been there.
It was like maybe like 2 or 3 months, and I was like, yeah. But if you don't use the other pockets, it's like, they're there. You have to go in them. There's like no point.
I will say I think cargo shorts get a bad rap because they are very versatile. There's a lot of utility. Not that I've ever used any of the pockets on my cargo shorts outside of the 2 front pockets, but
it's a fashion statement for a little bit beyond the utility.
For sure.
Yeah.
I say bring back cargo shorts,
Let's do it. Bring them back.
Amazing. So the second to last piece of this show is the quote of the day. And the quote of the day today is from John Eldridge. He says, "Life is not a problem to be solved, but an adventure to be lived."
I love that.
Yeah. Thoughts, reflections, resonates.
Yeah. I think it resonates a lot. I think there are lots of points in my life, especially as a goal-oriented person, where it's very much more of a math equation. And you're kind of like, all right, A plus B gets me to C. How do I then get to D? Constantly going through that life alphabet, trying to get to like where you want to be, instead of being like, this is awesome. Like I'm alive. There, trees exist. Birds are singing outside. I can see the sky. I think, it's been shocking. It reminds me immediately of like all these photos that have been surfacing of like the world given the quarantine and the world pre-quarantine. And one that came out of India from the other day, from New Delhi, that shocked me, where like you can see the sky and it's normally gray and dark. So New York too, tons of people on the Brooklyn Bridge versus like an empty Brooklyn Bridge. Just I feel like it shows you that adventure. That's like I see those and I'm like, wow, there's so much to be seen in the world.
Totally.
My thoughts.
Love that. This really resonates given, this digital detox dopamine fast that I did on Sunday. Because really what I realized was how much I appreciate just being present and feeling good, like just doing what felt good. And the cool part about it was like the things that brought me a lot of joy on Sunday were like, oh, I get to go make coffee now. And like, I get to go drink coffee and just like be with the coffee that I'm drinking. Or like, oh, I get to make lunch. And then I got to sit there and I got to like really appreciate like the entirety of the lunch that I was eating and like what I was eating and how it was made and what the flavor was. And so it was like, I didn't need, sometimes I feel like when I am really big on like tech or I'm on my phone all the time or whatever, I just feel really drained and like really, frantic and frazzled and frustrated. And so it's nice to just create opportunities to just like be present, not have anything to do.
I could not agree more. Second all of that.
Love that. We are at the final part of our show, Andrew, parting words. Do you have any parting words for the folks listening / watching? Any words of wisdom, gems you want to leave us with?
I love this. I love that, even though there's a lot of craziness going on in the world, that there's still opportunity for people to connect with one another and have, fun, laughing, but yet deep, meaningful conversation together. So Hayden, I appreciate you. Christian, appreciate you. See that comment. And yeah, I'm just really, really happy that, you can take something that's going on in the world and make a positive out of it. So thank you.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much for being on. Thanks for being in my network. Thanks for being a total homie. Appreciate the heck out of you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thanks to everybody watching. I will be back Monday evening. Have a great weekend. Peace out.